Get out! You're in the wrong building. Derek Hansen doesn't even look up from his phone. He stands at the counter in his designer suit, blocking the elderly black woman's way. This bank is for people who actually have money. The woman clutches her worn purse. Her voice shakes slightly. Sir, I have an account here. I just need to... An account? Derek's laugh is sharp and mean. What account? The one you clean for? He turns to the tellers. Call security, now. Please, I only want to... Listen, Grandma. He leans in close. His cologne is expensive and suffocating. I've seen your type before. Coming in here with fake IDs, stolen checkbooks. He snaps his fingers near her face. You don't belong here. Leave before I have you arrested. The marble floor is cold. The air smells like shame. Have you ever been judged before anyone knew what you held? 6 hours earlier. Morning sunlight filters through lace curtains. A small kitchen smells like Earl Grey tea and toast. The counters are spotless. Family photographs line the walls in simple frames. Evelyn Carter stands at her kitchen window. 73 years old. She waters a row of roses in clay pots. Her movements are careful and deliberate. Arthritis makes her fingers stiff in the mornings. The kitchen table holds neat stacks of paperwork. Bank statements, investment portfolios, legal documents with official seals, everything organized in labeled folders. She sits down with her tea, opens the top folder. Her reading glasses hang on a chain around her neck. The numbers on the statements are large, very large. Her phone rings. She answers on the second ring. Carter residence? Mom, it's Patricia. Are you sure about today? I can come with you, or handle it myself. Evelyn's voice is gentle but firm. Patricia, I've handled far worse than a bank visit. I'll be fine. But Mom, that's a lot of money to withdraw. What if what? What if they treat me like I don't belong? Evelyn sips her tea. Then they'll learn something today. Patricia sighs on the other end. Just be careful. Call me when you're done. I will, sweetheart. Evelyn hangs up. She looks at the wall behind the table, a wedding photograph from 1972. Young Evelyn in a simple white dress. Beside her, James Carter in his army uniform. Both of them smiling like they owned the world. Next to it, a frame holding military medals, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, certificates of service spanning 25 years. Another frame, James shaking hands with a man in an expensive suit. The plaque beneath reads, Heritage Trust Bank, 40th Anniversary Gala. Evelyn finishes her tea. She picks up her purse. The leather is worn soft from decades of use. Inside, she carefully places her wallet, her ID, her bank card, and something else. Documents folded neatly, a black credit card that catches the light. She locks her front door. The house sits in a quiet working-class neighborhood. Small yards, chain-link fences, cars that have seen better years. The bus stop is 2 blocks away. She could drive. She has cars. But she prefers the bus. Always has. James used to laugh about it. Evelyn, we can afford a driver. But she liked seeing her community, talking to neighbors, staying grounded. The bus arrives. She climbs aboard slowly. The driver smiles. Morning, Mrs. Carter. Good morning, Raymond. She sits near the front. A young mother struggles with a stroller. Evelyn helps fold it. The woman thanks her 3 times. How old? Evelyn asks. 7 months. Beautiful age. Mine are all grown now. The bus rolls through downtown. Past struggling shops and gentrified cafes. Past neighborhoods that used to be hers before the prices went up. Heritage Trust Bank rises ahead. Glass and steel. 12 stories. The largest financial institution in 3 counties. Its lobby is visible through massive windows, chandeliers, leather chairs. wealth on display. Evelyn steps off the bus. She stands on the sidewalk for a moment. Her reflection shows in the bank's windows. An old woman in a faded dress. Comfortable shoes. A purse that's been seen for 40 years. She doesn't look like she belongs here. That's the point. Her attorney called yesterday. Mrs. Carter, the scholarship fund is ready. Once you transfer the $2.8 million, we can finalize everything. $2.8 million. For kids who look like her. Kids who get judged before anyone knows their names. Kids who deserve a chance. James would have loved this. He grew up poor in Alabama. Army was his way out. Smart investing was their way up. But he never forgot where he came from. Neither has she. 5 years since he died. 5 years of managing their portfolio alone. Financial advisors were shocked. Mrs. Carter, your returns are better than most professionals. She smiles at the memory. Today's withdrawal will be her 5th annual scholarship endowment. $15 million given away over 5 years. The Carter Foundation. Helping students who the world overlooks. Students who get told they're in the wrong place. Evelyn walks toward the bank entrance. The brass handles shine in the sun. She can see people inside. Moving quickly. Confidence. Belonging. She pulls open the door. The air conditioning hits her face. The lobby smells like money and leather. Marble floors click under her shoes. A man in a navy suit watches her approach. His smile disappears. Evelyn approaches the main counter. Her worn shoes make soft sounds on the marble. Around her, the bank hums with quiet efficiency. Keyboards click. Printers whir. Wealthy customers receive warm greetings and coffee in china cups. A young teller named Madison looks up. 28. White. Nervous energy. She forces a professional smile. How can I help you today? Evelyn slides a withdrawal slip across the counter. I'd like to make a withdrawal, please. Madison picks up the paper. Her eyes scan the form. They stop at the amount line. Her face goes pale. Ma'am. She glances around nervously. This says $2.8 million. There must be some kind of mistake? No mistake, Evelyn says calmly. Madison's hands tremble slightly. She types something into her computer, waits, types again. Her eyebrows draw together. The account number. Let me just verify. Derek Hansen has been watching from his glass-walled office. He's seen the old woman approach, seen Madison's reaction. Now he stands, straightens his tie, walks over with purposeful strides. I'll handle this. His voice has authority. Command. Madison, go process Mrs. Henderson's mortgage application. Madison looks relieved. She practically runs to another station. Derek picks up the withdrawal slip. Study it like it's contaminated. His cologne is overwhelming this close. Expensive. Aggressive. Mrs. He squints at Evelyn's handwriting. Carter, is it? Yes. Mrs. Carter. He sets the paper down. I'm Derek Hansen, branch manager. I'm afraid there's been some confusion here. His smile is condescending, practiced. This account number. Are you certain this is yours? That's my account. My husband and I opened it in 1978. Derek's eyebrows rise. 1978. I see. He picks up the paper again. Mrs. Carter, this account holds substantial assets. Very substantial. I'll need to verify your identity thoroughly. He pauses. How exactly did you obtain this withdrawal slip? The question hangs in the air. The implication is clear. I filled it out this morning, Evelyn says, from my checkbook. Your checkbook. Derek nods slowly. Do you have secondary identification? Proof of address? Any documentation showing your relationship to this account? I have my driver's license, my bank card. Derek makes a show of examining her driver's license. He holds it up to the light, compares her face to the photo, takes his time. The thing is, Mrs. Carter, identity theft is a serious issue these days. I'm sure you understand. We have protocols. A security guard appears. Frank, 50 years old, white, ex-cop energy, thick arms crossed over his chest. Frank. Derek doesn't look away from Evelyn. Please stand by. We may have a situation here. Frank positions himself behind Evelyn, close enough to intimidate. Sir, I'm not committing any crime, Evelyn says. Her voice remains steady. I'm trying to access my own money. Of course, of course. Derek's tone is soothing. Fake. But you have to understand our position, an account of this magnitude, a withdrawal of this size, and... He gestures vaguely at her appearance. Well, you don't exactly present as our typical high-net-worth client. Two other customers are watching now. A woman in a Chanel suit whispers to her companion. Derek pulls out his phone, takes a picture of Evelyn's license. Standard procedure, he says. But his voice is loud enough for others to hear. He speaks into a radio clipped to his belt. Yes, we have a situation at the main counter. Possible fraud attempt. Elderly female. Stand by. Evelyn's jaw tightens, but she says nothing. Mrs. Carter, I'm going to need you to wait over there. Derek points to a row of chairs near the entrance, visible to everyone. While I verify this information. How long will that take? As long as it takes. His smile is thin. Unless you'd like to leave and come back with proper documentation. This is proper documentation. Derek sighs, like she's being difficult. Frank, please escort Mrs. Carter to the waiting area. Frank's hand hovers near Evelyn's elbow. Doesn't touch. But the threat is clear. Evelyn walks to the chairs, sits, her purse in her lap. Her back was straight. Derek returns to his office, but he makes phone calls where she can hear. His voice carries across the lobby. Yes, Charles Morrison's office, please. I have an elderly woman claiming to own the Carter account. Pause. No, she doesn't look like our typical client at all. Pause. Right, better safe than sorry. He hangs up. Make another call. Legal department? Derek Hansen at the downtown branch. I need fraud prosecution protocols ready. He glances at Evelyn. Elderly black female, approximately 70s, attempting to access the Carter estate account. 20 minutes pass. Other customers are served immediately. A man in a golf shirt wants to transfer funds. Madison processes it in 5 minutes. Smiles. Offers him bottled water. Evelyn sits. Waits. 30 minutes. A teenager opens a checking account, receives a welcome packet and a branded pen. The teller laughs at something he says. Evelyn's hands rest on her purse. Steady, patient. Derek's assistant manager approaches. Brenda Wilcox, 38, white, ambitious, sharp blazer and sharper heels. Derek, what's the situation? He shows her the withdrawal slip. Brenda's eyes widened. They talk in low voices, but their body language is clear, skeptical, suspicious. They keep looking at Evelyn. Brenda examines the paperwork, taps her manicured nails on the counter. Have you run her name through the system? Doing that now. What about the account owner? James Carter? Deceased, 5 years ago. So the account should have been frozen for probate. Brenda's voice rises slightly. She's trying to steal from a dead man's estate. Derek nods. That's what I'm thinking. This is a lie. Derek hasn't verified anything about James's death or the estate status. He's assuming, guessing, judging. Brenda walks over to Evelyn, stands too close. Ma'am, we're going to need additional information. Do you have the death certificate for James Carter? Probate documents? Letter testamentary? Those were filed 5 years ago, Evelyn says, with this bank. Then we'll need to locate them. which could take days. Brenda's smile is cold. Perhaps you should come back next week, with an attorney. I don't need an attorney to access my own account. That remains to be seen. Brenda turns on her heel, returns to Derek. They whisper, nod. Derek picks up his phone again. Yes. Police non-emergency line. This is Derek Hansen at Heritage Trust Bank downtown. We have a potential fraud situation. Elderly woman attempting to access an account that likely isn't hers. Pause. Yes. We'll wait for officers. Evelyn hears this. Her expression doesn't change, but her grip on her purse tightens. Around the lobby, customers openly stare now. Some have their phones out, recording. A well-dressed woman leans toward her husband. Can you believe that? Coming in here like she owns the place. Derek stands near his office door, arms crossed, waiting, victorious. Frank, the security guard, positions himself between Evelyn and the exit, just in case. Madison, the teller, keeps her head down. She looks uncomfortable, but she says nothing. The air conditioning hums. The clock on the wall ticks. Outside, traffic flows past on the street. Evelyn sits in her chair, surrounded by marble and judgment. Her faded floral dress is a stark contrast to the polished wealth around her. She looks small, old, out of place. Derek checks his watch, smiles to himself. He has no idea what's in her purse. 2 police cruisers pull up outside. Red and blue lights flash across the bank's glass facade. Customers crane their necks to see. The doors swing open. 2 officers enter. Officer Mitchell is 35, white, tall and broad-shouldered. His hand rests casually on his belt near his weapon. Authority radiates from every step. Officer Garcia follows. 29, Hispanic, quieter. His eyes scan the room carefully, taking everything in. Derek rushes to meet them, all smiles and handshakes. Officers, thank you for coming so quickly. What's the situation? Mitchell's voice is deep, commanding. Derek gestures toward Evelyn. That woman there. She's attempting to withdraw $2.8 million from an account that couldn't possibly be hers. He lowers his voice, but not enough. The actual account owner died 5 years ago. I believe she somehow obtained his information illegally. Mitchell nods. Garcia glances at Evelyn. She sits perfectly still, hands folded over her purse. Has she been aggressive? Mitchell asks. No, but she's been evasive, refuses to provide adequate documentation. We provided our ID and bank card, Evelyn says from her chair. Her voice carries clearly. Mitchell turns to her. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to remain silent until I ask you questions directly. Derek leads them closer to Evelyn. They form a semicircle around her chair. Derek, Brenda, Mitchell, Garcia, Frank the security guard. 5 people towering over one elderly woman. Mitchell pulls out a notepad. Ma'am, I need you to explain exactly how you obtained the account information you presented today. Evelyn looks up at him. Officer, I didn't obtain anything. This is my account. My late husband James and I opened it in 1978. Do you have documentation proving ownership, besides the withdrawal slip? I have my identification, my bank card. I can provide account passwords, security questions, transaction history. Mitchell cuts her off. That's not what I asked. Do you have legal documents, estate papers, power of attorney? Those documents are on file with this bank, Derek interjects. We have no record of any such documents. Another lie. Derek hasn't checked, hasn't looked, hasn't tried. Brenda adds, the account should have been frozen when Mr. Carter died. The fact that she has access suggests fraudulent activity. Mitchell writes something in his notepad. Ma'am, I'm going to need to search your purse. Make sure you don't have any other stolen documents or account information. Officer, I haven't committed any crime. I don't consent to a search. Mitchell's jaw tightens. You can consent to the search, or I can detain you on suspicion of fraud and identity theft. Your choice. Garcia shifts uncomfortably. Mitchell, maybe we should... I've got this, Garcia. Mitchell takes a step closer to Evelyn, invading her space. Ma'am, things can go easy or they can go hard, but that purse is getting searched one way or another. Evelyn's voice remains calm, professional. If you're going to search my belongings, I want it documented. I want your badge numbers, and I'm recording this encounter. She reaches for her phone in her purse. Stop! Mitchell's hand goes to his weapon. Put your hands where I can see them. Now! Evelyn freezes. Her hand is still partially in her purse. Slowly, Mitchell commands. Remove your hand. Slowly. She does. Empty-handed. Raised slightly. The entire bank has gone silent. Every customer was watching. Every employee frozen. Officer, Evelyn says quietly, I was reaching for my phone, not a weapon. I'll determine what you were reaching for. Mitchell's voice is hard. Stand up. Evelyn stands. Her knees shake slightly, arthritis making the movement painful. Are you armed? No. Any weapons in your purse? Knives? Needles? Anything that could hurt me? No. We'll see about that. Mitchell reaches for her purse. Garcia speaks up. Mitchell, she's 70 years old. Maybe we should... Garcia, step back. Mitchell's tone brooks no argument. Derek watches with barely concealed satisfaction. Brenda has her arms crossed, nodding along. Mitchell empties Evelyn's purse onto a nearby table. The contents spill out. Wallet, tissues, reading glasses, prescription bottles, a small photo of James in uniform, breath mints, hand sanitizer. He opens her wallet, examine her credit cards one by one. Visa, MasterCard, Discover. He holds up a card. What's this? My bank card. For which account? The account I'm trying to access. He sets it aside, continues searching, finds a folded piece of paper, opens it. What's this? My account statement from last month. Mitchell reads it. His eyebrows rise slightly, but he says nothing, folds it back up. Derek leans in. Find anything? Still looking. Mitchell goes through every pocket of her purse, every zipper, every compartment. He's thorough, invasive. He dumps out her pill bottles, counts the pills, checks the prescription labels. These yours? Yes. Blood pressure and arthritis medication. You get them legally? Evelyn's eyes flash. Of course I did. Just asking questions, ma'am. No need to get defensive. He finishes the search, finds nothing incriminating, because there's nothing to find. But he doesn't apologize, doesn't acknowledge the violation. Derek steps forward. Officers, I should mention something important. Mr. James Carter, the actual account holder, was a decorated military veteran, highly respected. This woman is claiming to be his wife, but... He pauses dramatically. How do we know that's true? Mitchell nods. Good point. Ma'am, do you have your marriage certificate? Not with me, it's at home. Convenient, Brenda mutters. Evelyn's voice rises slightly. I've been a customer at this bank for 47 years. I've never been treated like a criminal. I came here to do something good. Derek laughs. Something good? Like stealing millions? I'm not stealing anything. Mitchell holds up a hand. Ma'am, you need to calm down. I am calm, but I'm being accused of crimes I didn't commit. That's for us to determine. Mitchell exchanges a look with Derek. Sir, have you contacted the bank's corporate security? They're aware. They defer to local law enforcement. And you want to press charges? Derek doesn't hesitate. Absolutely. Attempted fraud, identity theft, whatever applies. Garcia finally speaks up. Mitchell, her ID checks out. Her name matches the withdrawal slip. Maybe we should verify her story before we... Garcia, I said I've got this. Mitchell turns back to Evelyn. Ma'am, I'm placing you under investigative detention. You're not under arrest yet, but you're not free to leave. On what grounds? Suspicious activity, attempted fraud, take your pick. Brenda suggests, should we handcuff her? She might try to run. Evelyn's voice breaks slightly. I'm 73 years old with arthritis in both knees. Where exactly would I run? Plenty of criminals your age, Mitchell says. Don't play the sympathy card. He reaches for his handcuffs. The metal glints under the fluorescent lights. Customers gasp. Phones record everything. Frank, the security guard, looks away. Even now, he seems uncomfortable. Madison, the teller, has tears in her eyes, but she stays silent, afraid for her job. Derek stands tall, chest out. He believes he's protecting his bank, doing his duty. He sees himself as the hero of this story. Mitchell opens the handcuffs. Ma'am, put your hands behind your back. Evelyn's hands tremble, not from fear, from rage, from decades of this same treatment in different forms. Officer, she says quietly, before you put those on me, I suggest you make one phone call. Mitchell pauses. Excuse me? One phone call. To your police chief, or to this bank's district manager. She straightens her shoulders. Call Charles Morrison. Tell him Evelyn Carter is being detained at the downtown branch. Derek scoffs. Charles Morrison? You don't know Charles Morrison. Call him. Lady, Charles Morrison is the regional director of this entire banking network. He doesn't have time for... Call him now. Something in Evelyn's voice has changed. The softness is gone. Authority replaces it. Garcia looks at Mitchell. It couldn't hurt to make the call. Mitchell's jaw works. He doesn't want to. Doesn't want to give her anything. But Garcia's right. Fine. He pulls out his phone, looks at Derek. You have his number? Derek hesitates. I can get it from a corporation. So you don't have his direct line? No, but I do. Evelyn's voice is steel now. It's in my phone, the one you wouldn't let me touch. Mitchell nods to Garcia. Check her phone. Recent calls. Garcia picks up her phone from the table, unlocks it with her permission, scrolls through recent calls. His eyes widen. Mitchell. She has Charles Morrison in her recent calls, from yesterday. The air in the bank shifts, subtle, but real. Derek's confidence wavers, just slightly. That could be anyone. A different Charles Morrison? Call it, Evelyn says. Garcia dials, puts it on speaker. It rings once, twice. Evelyn? A man's voice, professional, concerned. Is everything all right? You don't usually call twice in 1 week. Silence. Derek's face drains of color. Garcia clears his throat. Mr. Morrison? This is Officer Garcia with the city police. We're at the Heritage Trust downtown branch with a Mrs. Evelyn Carter who... What? Charles Morrison's voice explodes through the speaker. Mrs. Carter is there? At the downtown branch? A pause. Heavy breathing. Is she all right? Has anyone hurt her? Garcia glances at Mitchell. Sir, she's fine, but there's been a situation regarding... Put Derek Hansen on the phone. Right now. Derek's hand shakes as he takes the phone. Mr. Morrison, sir, I can explain. We had a woman attempting to withdraw a large sum, and the account information seemed... Do not speak! Morrison's voice is ice, pure fury. Do you have any idea what you've done? What have you done? Sir, I was following protocol for potential fraud. Protocol? Protocol? Morrison's shout makes everyone flinch. Mrs. Evelyn Carter is one of the most important clients in this bank's history. If anyone has laid one hand on her, if anyone has said one disrespectful word, you're finished. All of you. Derek's mouth opens, closes. No sound comes out. I'm 10 minutes away. Do not move her. Do not speak to her. Do not breathe near her. Am I clear? Yes, sir. The line goes dead. The silence in the bank is suffocating. You could hear a pin drop on the marble floor. Derek stares at the phone in his hand. His expression is that of a man watching his entire life collapse in real time. Brenda backs away slowly, like distancing herself might save her. Mitchell stands frozen, handcuffs still in his hand. Garcia looks at Evelyn with new eyes. Ma'am, we apologize for any... Don't. Evelyn's voice is quiet, but sharp. Not yet. Wait for Charles. The next 10 minutes feel like hours. Customers whisper, phones record. No one leaves. This is too good to miss. Derek tries to speak to Evelyn. Mrs. Carter, perhaps there has been a misunderstanding. She doesn't even look at him. Frank, the security guard, has moved away. Standing by the door now, as far from the situation as possible. Madison, the teller, is crying quietly at her station. Then the doors burst open. Charles Morrison enters like a hurricane. 55 years old, white, impeccable charcoal suit, silver hair. Behind him, 3 people in expensive business attire. The bank's head of legal, VP of operations, regional security chief. Charles's eyes scan the lobby. Find Evelyn. His face floods with relief and fury simultaneously. He rushes to her. Mrs. Carter. Evelyn. I am so deeply, profoundly sorry. He kneels beside her chair. Actually, kneel. Are you hurt? Did anyone touch you? I'm fine, Charles. You are not fine. This is unacceptable. He stands, turns to Derek. The temperature in the room drops 20 degrees. What have you done? Derek stammers. Sir, I was protecting the bank's assets. This woman presented a withdrawal slip for $2.8 million, and I had no way of knowing. No way of knowing? Charles's voice could cut glass. You had every way of knowing. It's called pulling up her account, which takes 30 seconds. He strides to the nearest computer. Madison scrambles out of his way. Charles types rapidly. The account appears on screen. He turns the monitor so everyone can see. Officer Mitchell, Officer Garcia, Derek, Brenda, everyone in this building, look at this screen. The account balance shows $47,342,691. The number hangs in the air like a physical thing. Mrs. Evelyn Carter, Charles continues, his voice shaking with barely controlled rage, is not just a client. She and her late husband James are founding investors of this bank. They've held accounts here since 1978, 47 years. He pulls up another screen. Transaction history. These are her charitable contributions. $3 million annually for the past 5 years. $15 million given to scholarship funds for underprivileged students. Derek's legs look unsteady. He leans against the counter for support. Charles isn't finished. Today's withdrawal? The $2.8 million she came to collect? That's this year's scholarship endowment, the Carter Foundation, which I personally process every single year. He turns back to Evelyn. His voice softens. I am so sorry. This should never have happened. Evelyn stands slowly. The room watches. She's no longer a suspicious old woman. The air around her has changed. Authority radiates from her small frame. Charles, I appreciate your concern, but this isn't about me. She looks at Derek. It's about every person who doesn't fit someone's narrow idea of what wealth looks like. Derek tries to speak. Mrs. Carter, I sincerely apologize. I was simply being cautious with the bank's... Cautious? Evelyn's voice cuts through his excuse. You humiliated me publicly. You called the police. You had me searched like a criminal. She pauses. You did all of that because you judged me by my clothes and my skin. That's not caution. That's prejudice. Brenda attempts damage control. Mrs. Carter, we treat all potential fraud cases with the same level of, do you? Evelyn's eyes are steel. Show me one video of you treating a well-dressed white customer the way you treated me today. No one answers. Evelyn reaches into her purse. The purse Mitchell searched and dumped out. She pulls items out slowly, deliberately. First, a black credit card, not regular black, deep obsidian. Charles recognizes it immediately. Platinum Elite, reserved for clients with over 50 million in managed assets. Only 40 people in the entire region have one. Derek stares at it. His hands start to tremble. Second, a folded certificate. Evelyn unfolds it carefully. Heavy paper. Gold seal. Certificate of Appreciation. Heritage Trust Bank Board of Advisors. Evelyn Carter. In recognition of 45 years of partnership and investment excellence. Brenda's face goes pale. Third, a photograph. Evelyn holds it up. A younger version of her standing with an older white man in a tuxedo, both holding champagne glasses. The banner behind them reads, Heritage Trust Bank, 40th Anniversary Gala. Charles points to the man in the photo. That's our founder, Henry Mitchell. He died 12 years ago. But he and Mr. Carter were close friends. Fourth, a letter. Official letterhead. Charles Morrison's signature at the bottom, dated 3 months ago. Dear Mrs. Carter, on behalf of Heritage Trust Bank, we thank you for your continued confidence in our wealth management services. Your recent investment of $10 million in our emerging markets fund demonstrates... Derek's legs give out. He grabs the counter, sinks into a chair. Mitchell, the officer, looks like he wants the floor to swallow him. Evelyn carefully returns each item to her purse. Now, Derek, you were saying something about protocols? Derek can't speak. His mouth opens. Nothing comes out. Charles turns to his legal team. Conference room. Derek and Brenda. Now. He looks at the officers. Unless you're charging Mrs. Carter with a crime, you're dismissed. Mitchell finds his voice. No, sir. No charges. Mrs. Carter, I apologize for the confusion. Confusion? Evelyn's eyebrow rises. Is that what we're calling it? Garcia steps forward. Ma'am, I want you to know I tried to... I know, Officer Garcia. I noticed. Your partner did not. Mitchell's face burns red. He turns and walks out. Garcia follows but looks back once, apologetic. The bank remains silent. Customers are filming everything. This will be online in minutes. Charles extends his hand to Evelyn. Please, let me personally process your transaction in my office, with coffee and my deepest apologies. Evelyn looks at Derek, Brenda, Frank, Madison, all the faces that judged her. Yes, Charles. Let's finish what I came here to do. As she walks toward the private offices, every eye follows her. The small woman in the faded floral dress, who just brought a bank manager to his knees. Derek watches her go. His career, his reputation, his life, all destroyed in less than 60 seconds. The conference room has glass walls. Everyone in the bank can see inside. Derek and Brenda sit on one side of the long table. Charles Morrison stands, flanked by the head of legal and the VP of operations. The HR director joins via video call on the wall screen. Charles doesn't sit. He paces. Give me one reason. One single reason I shouldn't fire both of you right now. Derek's voice cracks. Sir, I was protecting the bank's assets. How was I supposed to know she... By doing your job! Charles slams his hand on the table. The sound echoes. You could have pulled up her account in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Instead, you called the police. You had her searched. You humiliated one of our most valued clients in front of dozens of witnesses. He leans forward, with cameras recording everything. Brenda tries. Mr. Morrison, we were following standard fraud prevention protocols. Show me the protocol that says humiliate elderly clients. Charles's voice is ice. Show me where it says judge people by their clothing. I'll wait. Silence. The head of legal speaks. Mr. Hansen, Mrs. Wilcox, you're aware this bank has a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination? Derek nods frantically. Yes, but I wasn't discriminating. I would have questioned anyone trying to withdraw that amount without proper what? Charles cuts him off. She had her ID, her bank card. She knew her account number, her password, everything. He pulls out his phone, shows them a video. This is already trending online. #HeritageShame. 3 million views in the last hour. Derek's face turns gray. The NOACP has already contacted our corporate office, the legal director adds. They're asking questions, lots of questions. Charles stops pacing, looks directly at Derek. You need to apologize to Mrs. Carter. Now. Publicly. Of course, absolutely, I'm not asking. They walk back to the main lobby. Evelyn sits in Charles's private office, visible through the glass partition. She's drinking coffee from a real cup, not the paper ones given to regular customers. Derek and Brenda approach. Charles follows close behind. Derek knocks on the doorframe. Mrs. Carter, may we come in? Evelyn sets down her cup. Yes. They enter. Derek's hands shake. Brenda won't make eye contact. Mrs. Carter. Derek's voice is barely audible. I sincerely apologize for the misunderstanding today. I was simply being cautious with the bank's security procedures and I... Stop. Evelyn's voice is calm, firm. That's not an apology, that's an excuse. Derek swallows hard. I'm sorry. For what specifically? For questioning your account. Try again. Derek's eyes glisten. The reality is sinking in. I'm sorry for humiliating you, for treating you like a criminal, for judging you based on your appearance. And for calling the police, for having you searched. His voice breaks. For making assumptions about who you were before I knew anything about you. Evelyn nods slowly. And would you have treated me that way if I'd walked in wearing a Chanel suit? If my skin was white? Derek opens his mouth, closes it. The answer is obvious to everyone. That's what I thought. Evelyn stands. Your apology is noted but not accepted. Because this isn't about me forgiving you. This is about you understanding what you did wrong. Brenda tries to speak. Mrs. Carter, we treat all potential fraud cases with the same... Do you? Evelyn's gaze is sharp. Then show me your security footage from the past month. Show me every time you questioned a well-dressed white customer about their accounts. Show me when you last called the police on someone driving a Mercedes. Brenda has no answer. Charles steps forward. Mrs. Carter, I want you to know we're taking immediate action. Effective right now, Derek Hansen is suspended without pay pending a full investigation. He looks at Derek. Clear out your desk. Security will escort you out. Derek's face crumbles. Charles, please, I have a mortgage, kids in private school, I can't. You should have thought about that before you terrorized a 73-year-old woman. Charles turns to Brenda. Ms. Wilcox, same. Suspended without pay. This is unfair. Brenda's voice rises. We were doing our jobs. No, Charles says quietly. You were letting your biases do your jobs for you. Security arrives. 2 guards, not Frank. He's already been reassigned. Derek stands on shaking legs. Mrs. Carter, please, I made a mistake. I have a family. Evelyn looks at him. Really looks at him. So, do the hundreds of people you've probably treated this same way over the years, people who didn't have millions of dollars to prove their worth, people who just left quietly, humiliated, thinking that's how the world works. Derek has no response. The guards escort him and Brenda out, through the lobby. Past customers are still filming, past tellers who won't meet their eyes, past Madison, who's still crying. The glass doors close behind them. Charles turns to his legal team. Pull all security footage from the past 2 years. Every interaction Derek and Brenda had with minority clients. I want a full audit. He returns to Evelyn. Now, let's complete your transaction properly. Evelyn sits back down. The $2.8 million for the scholarship fund. Of course, that Charles processes it himself. His fingers fly across the keyboard. Transfer to the Carter Foundation account. Authorized by account holder. Transaction complete. He prints a receipt, hands it to her. Mrs. Carter, I know this doesn't fix what happened, but I want you to know I'm personally ashamed. This bank is better than this, or it should be. Make sure it is, Evelyn says. Not just for me, for everyone. Outside, news vans are arriving. Word has spread fast. Reporters set up cameras on the sidewalk. Inside, customers whisper, share videos, post updates. Within 2 hours, the story is national news. Millionaire philanthropist treated like a criminal at own bank. The hashtag trends, hashtag heritage, shame, #dignity matters, #Evelyn Carter. Derek Hansen's name trends too, for all the wrong reasons. His phone explodes with messages. Some are supportive, most angry. Screenshots of his social media spread. Old posts that didn't age well. Comments that reveal patterns. Brenda's LinkedIn profile gets flooded. Angry comments. People she wronged coming forward with their own stories. Officer Mitchell gets called back to the station. His body camera footage is under review. Internal Affairs wants answers. Garcia writes a commendation for attempting to de-escalate. His report notes Mitchell's aggressive behavior. Poor judgment. Violations of protocol. And Evelyn? She finishes her coffee. Thanks, Charles. And walks out of the bank with her head high. The same way she walked in. The video goes viral within hours. Shot from multiple angles by different customers. Same scene. Same humiliation. Same reversal. By midnight, 15 million views. By morning, 30 million. The comments explode. This is why we still need to talk about racism. That manager's face when he realized, priceless. How many people did this happen to who weren't millionaires? That last question trends on its own. News outlets pick it up, local first, then national. Then CNN runs a segment. Fox covers it. MSNBC interviews civil rights attorneys. Heritage Trust's corporate headquarters issues a statement. We deeply regret the treatment of Mrs. Carter. The employees involved have been terminated. We are implementing immediate reforms. But the internet wants more. Details. Accountability. Real change. The internal investigation begins. 3 attorneys. 2 weeks. Hundreds of hours of security footage. What they find is damning. Derek Hansen worked there for 12 years. The footage shows a clear pattern. A young black man in a hoodie opens a savings account. Derek makes him wait 40 minutes. Asks for 3 forms of ID. Questions his employment twice. An Hispanic woman needs a cashier's check. Derek suggests a money order instead. Might be easier for you. An elderly Asian couple inquires about investments. Derek directs them to basic checking, assumes they don't understand complex products. Meanwhile, white customers in casual clothes get immediate service. Friendly conversation, coffee offers, no extra questions. The pattern is undeniable, consistent, documented. Brenda's footage shows similar bias, less aggressive but equally harmful. The report goes to the corporate, to the board, to the NAACP and ACLU. 2 weeks later, they contact Evelyn. They meet in her living room, tea and cookies on the table. Attorney James Wilson speaks. Mrs. Carter, we've been contacted by 37 other customers, all people of color, all with similar stories. Evelyn listens. We'd like to file a class action discrimination lawsuit, with you as lead plaintiff. He pauses. We know you're private, but your story has power. Evelyn sips her tea. I don't want this about me. It's not. It's about every person who was treated this way and couldn't fight back. Patricia sits beside her mother. Mom, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Your father would want me to. The lawsuit is filed 3 weeks later. 40 plaintiffs, 200 pages of stories. A teacher denied a mortgage despite excellent credit. A doctor questioned about legitimate paychecks. Are you sure these aren't fake? A veteran trying to access VA benefits, treated like a scammer. Story after story, pattern after pattern. Heritage Trust fights initially. Isolated incidents, misunderstandings. But the evidence is overwhelming. The trial begins 6 months after that day at the bank. The courthouse is packed, media everywhere, cameras on the steps. Evelyn arrives in a gray suit, Patricia on one side, her attorney on the other. Inside, the courtroom is formal. Wood paneling, high ceilings. The jury is diverse. 8 women, 4 men, multiple races. Opening statements begin. The plaintiff's attorney speaks. This case is about dignity, about being judged before anyone knows your name, about a system that assumes poverty and criminality based on skin color. Yet Heritage Trust's attorney argues procedure. Our clients followed protocol, made understandable mistakes. Then the evidence comes. Video after video. Testimony after testimony. Expert witnesses on implicit bias. Statistical analysis. The numbers don't lie. Black customers waited 18 minutes longer on average. Hispanic customers were asked for additional ID 47% more often. Asian customers were steered toward lower yield accounts despite higher balances. Derek takes the stand. He's lost weight. His suit doesn't fit well. His confidence is gone. Mr. Hansen, what was your first thought when Mrs. Carter approached? I thought she looked out of place. Out of place how? Her clothes were modest. She seemed... I don't know. Did you think she was poor? Derek hesitates. Yes. Because of her clothes? Yes. And because she's black? No, Mr. Hansen, we have footage of you serving a white man in gym shorts and a stained t-shirt that same day. You processed his $50,000 withdrawal in 5 minutes. No questions. Why the difference? Derek has no answer. Evelyn's testimony is powerful, quiet, dignified. They didn't see a decorated veteran's widow. They didn't see a woman who'd built a fortune through hard work. They saw an elderly black woman and assumed I was poor, uneducated, and criminal. Her voice doesn't waver. I could fight back because I had resources, but what about everyone else? What about the people who left quietly, believing that's how the world works? Several jurors wipe their eyes. The defense tries to discredit her. Mrs. Carter, isn't it true you chose to wear modest clothing that day? Evelyn's response is sharp. Are you suggesting that wearing an old dress justifies being treated like a thief? The courtroom gasps. Officer Mitchell testifies. He's no longer with the police department, terminated 2 months after the incident. I made assumptions. I saw an elderly black woman and a white bank manager. I believed the manager. I was wrong. His body camera footage plays. The intimidation, the threats, the illegal search demand. The jury watches in silence. Garcia testifies too, now a sergeant. I tried to intervene, But I didn't try hard enough. The trial lasts 3 weeks. Closing arguments are emotional. This isn't about money. It's about sending a message that dignity isn't for sale, that every person deserves respect regardless of their bank balance. The jury deliberates for 8 hours. They return with a verdict. The foreman stands. In the case of Carter v. Heritage Trust Bank, we find in favor of the plaintiffs. The courtroom erupts. Tears. Applause. The judge calls for order. The damages. $12 million compensatory. Distributed among 37 plaintiffs. $50 million punitive. But more importantly, the court orders systemic changes. Mandatory bias training. External monitoring for 5 years. Quarterly audits of customer service by race. Public reporting of findings. Heritage Trust must issue a public apology. Real, not corporate speak. The CEO reads it on the courthouse steps. We failed. We allowed bias to flourish. We hurt people. We are sorry. And we are changing. Derek Hansen's life is ruined. No job, no career. His wife left. House in foreclosure. He stocks shelves at night now. Minimum wage. Brenda is blacklisted from finance. Her LinkedIn defense went viral for the wrong reasons. Mitchell lost his pension. 20 years gone. He drives for a rideshare company. Passengers recognize him. Leave 1-star ratings. But Garcia thrived. He runs the bias training program. 500 officers trained. Complaints down 34%. The verdict sends shockwaves. 34 other banks implement changes within months. Evelyn gives her settlement portion away. To the scholarship fund, $20 million total, for kids who get judged before anyone knows their names. 6 months after the verdict. The James and Evelyn Carter Education Center stands 3 stories tall. Red brick, large windows, solar panels gleaming in the sun. 200 people gather for the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Evelyn stands at the podium. Blue dress. Simple, but new. Patricia beside her. 6 months ago, I was humiliated in a bank where I'd been a customer for 47 years. But that humiliation revealed something important. She pauses. Dignity shouldn't depend on your bank balance. Justice shouldn't be a luxury only the wealthy can afford. Applause ripples through the crowd. This center is for every person judged by their appearance, dismissed because of their age, discriminated against because of their race. She gestures to the building. The scholarship fund started with $2.8 million. We've now endowed it with $20 million. Students who face barriers will get opportunities. Forever. 5 students join her on stage. The first Carter Scholarship recipients. Marcus. Black. Foster care background. Now studying engineering. Sophia. Hispanic. Immigrant family. Now pre-law. Wei. Asian. Restaurant worker's daughter. Now creative writing. David. White. Rural Appalachia. Now pre-med. Amira. Refugee. War survivor. Now social work. Each speaks briefly about being underestimated, about second chances, about hope. Evelyn listens, eyes bright. This is why she fought. The ribbon is cut. The building opens. Tomorrow, the first tutoring sessions begin. Later, Evelyn sits in the garden. A young black girl approaches, maybe 9 years old, shy. Mrs. Carter, my mom showed me the video. You stood up for yourself even when they were mean. Evelyn smiles. I did. I get treated mean sometimes too, because of how I look. Evelyn takes her hand. Listen, your worth isn't determined by how others see you. Stand in your truth. Demand respect. You are enough, exactly as you are. The girl hugs her, runs back to her mother. Patricia watches. You changed things, Mom. We all did. Evelyn stands. Change doesn't happen alone. The sun sets, golden light across the building, across students who now have hope. Evelyn thinks about Derek, about Mitchell. She doesn't hate them, but she won't forget. Because that little girl deserves better. Thousands like her deserve better. They deserve a world where dignity isn't for sale, where justice doesn't depend on bank balances, where every person gets respect. That world doesn't exist yet, but it's closer than 6 months ago. If this story moved you, share it. Make sure others know justice is possible when we stand against discrimination. Subscribe for more stories of injustice overcome and dignity restored. Follow for updates on the Carter Foundation and students whose lives are changing. Here's what to think about. If Evelyn hadn't been wealthy, would Derek have faced consequences? Should justice depend on your bank balance? Or should every person, regardless of wealth, be treated with dignity and respect? Leave your answer in the comments. This conversation is just beginning. The numbers tell the story. Black banking customers are 2.5 times more likely to be questioned about legitimate transactions. Heritage Trust Bank has processed 0 discrimination complaints since reforms. The Carter Scholarship Fund has awarded $20 million to 247 students. Officer Garcia trains 500 officers annually in bias-free policing. Derek's case led to policy changes at 34 banks nationwide. Change is real. Change is happening. But only because people demanded it. What will you demand today? Dignity isn't for sale, and justice shouldn't be either.